During the dating stage, this is the period where you get to determine whether the person you're seeing romantically, or rather are interested in, may be a suitable partner for you when it comes to marital settlement. In this episode, I am going to share with you some of the tips, or rather qualities, or rather some of the green flags to look out for during the dating stage. I am Faustin Love, and this is Faustin Love TV. So I had listed down some green flags to keep an eye on during the dating stage. So I'll share them with you. The first green flag to keep an eye on is consistency and reliability. A very major green flag during dating is consistency and reliability. Is this man texting you on a continuous level? Or does he text you sometimes and then goes mute for days, weeks, months, then comes back to you again? So my dear ladies, consistency is a major green flag. If he is the type of person that is regularly checking up on you without putting a stop on it, this is a very good quality. Is he reliable? For instance, if you have a problem today, can this person be your emergency contact other than your closest family members? Can this person be like an emergency contact for you? Can he come through to your aid in case of an emergency? Think about it. The second green flag: he puts you on a pedestal. He holds you on high regard. He views you like someone who almost doesn't have any flaws. Obviously, every individual has their flaws, but he almost views you as someone who is perfect and considers you as someone who doesn't have any flaws. He gives a blind eye to your flaws. So putting you on a high pedestal and holding you on a very high regard is a very great green flag in the dating stage. On to the next point. He takes time to know you. He is interested in who you are internally and not just interested in your physical attributes. Obviously, when someone is on the lookout of a potential romantic partner, or even someone is looking for someone with whom he can settle down with maritally, obviously the looks have to come first. You just can't go about walking about aimlessly and all that, because as they always say, there's a saying that men are visual creatures. So more than your physical looks, there has to be more to it. Ask yourself, is he interested in your mind? Is he interested in your passions, in your pursuits, in your dreams? Is he interested in knowing you on an internal level and on a deeper level? If that is the case, then that is absolutely a green flag during dating. If he is just interested on your physical attributes and nothing more than that, I think that is an absolute red flag. On to the next point that I had stated with me. He supports your dreams and your passions. If he is a good person and he's genuinely concerned with you and he genuinely wants to know you in the long run and on a long term, he will support your dreams and passions. And that is financially. He will mentor you whenever he can, and especially if he's in a position to mentor you. And if he can take you to school, he will take you to school so that you can gather more information that can help support your dreams and your passion. So another green flag during the dating phase is that the guy you're seeing supports your dreams, your ambitions, your goals, your interests, your passions. So he will always find ways to support you, not just financially, but also if he's in a position to mentor you, or rather give you advices, or rather guidelines that can help you to polish your dreams, he will equally do that. The next point that I had listed down: emotional maturity and stability. Is this man emotionally stable? Is he emotionally mature? I know there's a saying that only women tend to have emotional fluctuations, or rather mood swings. But do you know there are similarly men who have emotional fluctuations? So I think it's quite unfair to generalize that only only women have emotional fluctuations. Personally, I have encountered men who, not the men that I have dated, but men who have emotional mood swings, that is. So if a man you're seeing, if the man you're dating is emotionally stable, if he is emotionally mature, he has his emotions in check, or rather on check, that's a green flag. You don't want to be in a scenario whereby you're dating someone, in the morning they are very happy and they love your company and all that, then a few hours later, let's say later on in the afternoon or later on in the evening, when he comes back from work, he's a totally different person. He's suddenly moody and sad and doesn't want to be in your company. That, if I am engaging with someone like that, I would feel like, no, I feel like that is too much. And if you ask me, that would be a red flag. So someone being with a man who is emotionally mature, emotionally stable, is a major green flag during the dating stage. He doesn't rush physical intimacy. I know physical intimacy cannot be escaped, especially when you're seeing someone romantically, but during the initial stages of getting to know someone, I don't think that this is something that should be rushed. If a man respects you and he genuinely loves you and he sees you in the long run, he will take time before he can engage in physical intimacy with you. So not rushing when it comes to physical intimacy is another green flag. Nobody wants to be rushed when it comes to physical. At least you should take time to get to know you on an internal level, to get to know your likes, your dislikes, your interests, your view when it comes to how you perceive life, how you perceive everything. So he should not rush when it comes to emotional intimacy, and that will be a green flag. The other point that I had listed down with me: he is ambitious and with a great sense of purpose. You don't want to be moving along with someone who doesn't even know where they're going with life, especially. So personally, I would never deal with a man that doesn't have ambition or a vision or even goals with his life. I am very traditional minded, and I always believe that a man should lead, whereas the woman follows the lead. That is just who I am. So a great green flag that the person you're dating is someone should be considered, is probably someone that should be considered long term, is when they have an ambition and a great sense of purpose. Nothing is as attractive as a man who has ambition and knows what he's doing with his life and where he's going with his life. And when he knows this, and when he does this, should you end up being maritally settled with this kind of person, you absolutely are. You absolutely know that he can lead you as a family, he can lead you as a wife, and he can take charge of tough situations whenever tough situations arises. The next point that I had stated with me, he is generous, he is highly generous and provider-minded, and is not selfish and mean. I am very traditional minded again. I believe a man should be the sole provider, especially in a family dynamic. A man should be the sole provider. So, green flag when you are dating, when this man provides for you and takes care of your needs, and he anticipates your concerns, and whenever you're stressed out, especially financially, he comes through for you. This is a good sign to look out for. And if he's stingy and just mean, especially when he is in a position to offer assistance, that is absolutely a red flag. And I don't buy the I'll only take care of you upon marrying you. I don't buy that at all. If a man cannot take care of you during the dating phase and during the courtship phase, there's no guarantee that when you're married, when you settle down, he will change. He'll absolutely be even worse in case of marital settlement. So a great green flag to look out for during dating is when he comes through for you, takes care of your needs, especially when you are stressed out, let's say financially and all that. So him being provider-minded is a very good sign. And please, let's be realistic when it comes to this. Obviously, when you're dating someone who is way younger and he's yet to establish himself, the expectations should be realistic. It should not be as similar as when you're dating someone who is older and has his life already figured out and his finances already in order and his life is already established. So be realistic as well when it comes to the expectations that you have. For instance, you can be dealing with a 25-year-old who's, for instance, an associate lawyer, and you want him to suddenly buy you a Tesla, a Lamborghini. That will be like, it's not practical, right? And like when you're dealing with someone who's already established, is way old, slightly older, and is already having his life in order and all that. So in as much as I advocate for a man being provider-minded, also be realistic with your expectations. Another sign, another green flag when dating, he respects your boundaries. When you say no, he respects it. When you don't like something and you mention it out to him, he will respect it and he will not do it next time or in the other times. Another green flag, his reputation is commendable. You don't want to be dealing with someone who has a rotten reputation. You don't want, because at the end of the day, if you end up being maritally settled with this person, you'll be taking his name. And you know the impact that can have on your life and your future children's life. So you don't want to be dealing with someone who has a filthy reputation. So him having a good reputation, a commendable reputation, is a good sign. The other point, my darlings, that I had listed down, he is a great communicator. He knows how to communicate effectively. He knows how to raise his concerns in a clear way without beating around the bush, and he knows how to do it in a polite and kind way. For instance, also another thing to look out for in this, still on the same point of great communicator, He responds to your text on time, and even when he takes time, he later tells you, maybe for instance he was engaged with a lot of work, and they always say men don't know how to multitask, so he'll apologize later and explain it to you later, the reason as to why he had delayed in responding to your text or even your call for that matter. So a great communicator, that is a good sign to look out for during the dating stage as well. The next point that I had stated with me, he outdoes himself. He outdoes himself when it comes to fulfilling your love languages. Every lady has a different love language. Acts of service, for some their love language is receiving gifts, for some it's words of affirmation, for some is money. I'm sure you already seen this coming. So there are different types of physical touch as well. That is an act of, it's another love language as well. So he outdoes himself when it comes to fulfilling your love language. If he knows you really love, for example, breakfast in bed, he will wake up earlier. He'll wake up earlier when you're still sleeping, and all of a sudden he'll surprise you to breakfast in bed. He knows your love language is flowers and flowers and more flowers, and he won't have to wait for Valentine's Day to surprise you with flowers. He'll constantly be on the lookout of beautiful flowers to surprise you with. He knows your love language is money. He won't wait for you to ask, but he'll provide it for you, just to see you happy, just to see you smile, just to outdo other competitors, in case you may be having other men who also want to be your suitors. Last but not least, he creates time, even from his busy schedule, to spend some time with you whenever possible or whenever chance he can get. Obviously, it's not practical to want to spend time throughout with the person that you're seeing. I mean, everyone in the world is busy, and it's unfair to want to spend, even if your love language is spending time with your loved one. I think it would be unfair to want to spend like the whole day, the whole time with your loved one. So we have to have the understanding, in as much as we are having we obviously have to create that understanding that people get busy, and especially if you're dealing with someone who maybe has in the workforce, they tend to be very busy and all that. So you have to be very understanding as a lady, but at the same time, he needs to create time whereby you can have quality time together and just spend time together as a couple, he needs to set aside time, or days, or even months, or even just a few hours, but quality, and he ensures it's quality, well spent time together with you. So that's a good sign to look out for. He creates time from his busy schedule to spend time with you. Another green flag, which is actually my last point to look out for during the dating stage, he's kind and compassionate. He's kind and compassionate. He talks with people gently. He handles people with care. For example, when you go to the restaurant with him, he's very, very and he's an amiable person. He's very amicable with you, with the waiters, with the hotel staff, and all that. Because there are men, when you deal with, they are always angry, They are angry, and they tend to throw their frustrations and anger, especially to the service people. So, for instance, when you go to dine with him and you see him treating the waiters, the waitresses in a very polite way, you see how he treats his mother, you see how he treats children, and overall every person around him, And if he treats them in a very amicable way, in a very diplomatic way, that is a very good sign. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you've learned a few things, because my video is all about sharing informative information that can help you level up as a woman. If you haven't subscribed, this would be a perfect time for you to subscribe. So please subscribe, because this will go a long way and it will help me to even share more videos with you. So subscribe, like, comment, and share. See you on my next episode. Stay blessed.